everybody, welcome back to Let's Talk Physical Media. I am your host, John. This is the weekly news show where we talk about anything in the world of physical media and sometimes in the world of just regular old-fashioned film. And it was actually a pretty busy news week in the world of physical media. We got March 2025 announcements from the Criterion Collection. We found out about some David Fincher movies coming to 4K Blu-ray, and a couple other things have either been rumored or are actually confirmed to finally be coming to 4K Blu-ray. Let's start it off with David Fincher, because if January was the month of Quentin Tarantino and Inglourious Basterds, Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, and Jackie Brown coming to 4K Blu-ray, then February is definitely Fincher February, because we're not getting one, but two David Fincher movies on 4K Blu-ray on February 18th. The big one being Panic Room coming to 4K Steelbook. This is a 2002 film directed by David Fincher, his follow-up to Fight Club. And I remember very vividly when Panic Room first came out. We picked up the DVD at Hollywood Video. We rented it, watched it at home. Really enjoyed that movie. It stars Jodie Foster and a young Kristen Stewart, mother-daughter. They move into a new house. Jodie Foster's going through a divorce. She gets this beautiful apartment because she's rich, obviously, and it has a panic room in there. One night, Forrest Whitaker and the gang decide to break in, and then that's it. It just becomes a straightforward thriller. How are they going to survive this night? And it's a fantastic film. This was rumored to be coming to 4K Blu-ray a couple years ago. I remember because I was actually going to do my David Fincher ranking, which is actually here on the channel, where I rank all of David Fincher's films, but I was hoping to, the big thing was going to be Panic Room coming to 4K Blu-ray. That was going to be the big thing in there. This was it's almost 3 years ago now, but we're finally going to be getting this on 4K Blu-ray. And David Fincher oversaw this transfer, so that's awesome, just like he did with Seven. So we're getting Seven, we're getting Panic Room, and then the other one that's going to be coming to 4K Blu-ray, and this is in a 4K Steelbook as well, is The Social Network. Now, I actually already have The Social Network on 4K Blu-ray. It's in the Columbia Classics Volume 2, and it includes that same HDR10, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos, so there's actually no reason for anyone who owns Columbia Classics Volume 2 to be picking this one up, but I'm really glad that everybody else who doesn't own this one is going to be able to pick this one up and finally experience The Social Network on 4K Blu-ray, which, The Social Network is a fantastic, deserved to win Best Picture in 2010. Unfortunately, it didn't. I believe The King's Speech won, which, The King's Speech it's just fine. That's just really like the Academy stroking themselves on that one because, honestly, The Social Network is the best film of that year. Should have won. The Academy just, for some reason, loves to overlook David Fincher, but I'm really glad that everyone's going to finally get to experience The Social Network on 4K Steelbook. Even trying to make people who have that movie already on 4K Blu-ray in the Columbia Classics Volume 2, they might be going, maybe I should double dip, because the Steelbook, it's pretty nice, but it does look just like the slipcover that's on the 4K Blu-ray, and, that's the original movie poster, so that makes a lot of sense. So February 18th, though, it's going to be tough for a lot of people, including myself, because not only are we getting Panic Room and The Social Network, that's the same day Constantine comes to 4K Blu-ray, and that's also the same day that Uncle Buck is coming to 4K Blu-ray from Kino Lorber. And the week after February 18th, right now on Blu-ray.com, it says that Amadeus is going to be coming to 4K Blu-ray on February 25th. Now, I don't know if this has been confirmed or not. Obviously, it's been rumored for a while. We talked about it here on the channel, but to see it penciled in for February 25th, that's not too far away. I hope that's true because I absolutely love Amadeus. So those are some pretty huge announcements. I cannot wait to get Panic Room on 4K Blu-ray. That's a pretty damn big deal. And then we also got Criterion's March 2025 announcement, so we're already talking about March, and this is what we're going to be getting from the Criterion Collection. Night Moves. This one stars Gene Hackman. This one takes place in Florida, and you really can feel the heat in it. I've only seen this movie once, but I remember really liking it. I remember really liking Gene Hackman's performance in it. Gene Hackman, one of the greatest actors of all time. Anytime he's in a movie, at least he elevates the film. He's always giving a pretty damn good performance, even if he doesn't believe in the project. Like Hoosiers, apparently he didn't believe that movie was going to be a success at all, and that's one of his defining career roles, one of the greatest sports films ever, and he's great in Night Moves. Really glad to see that one coming to 4K Blu-ray. Choose Me is coming to 4K Blu-ray. I've never seen that movie. A Woman of Paris, I also haven't seen that. Godzilla versus Biollante. Now, I've never seen this one, but this is a pretty big deal, I assume, for the Godzilla fans out there. Pretty random to be getting that one on 4K Blu-ray. And then The Wages of Fear is also going to be coming to 4K, and this is the big one for me. And we just talked about this either last week or 2 weeks ago here on the channel, is, we're getting The Keep on 4K Blu-ray. That's a big deal. A Michael Mann film that's not very fondly remembered, but that came out on Vinegar Syndrome. It was a huge deal. Imprint is going to be releasing their own version of The Keep, but I always said that, Michael Mann, one of his best films, and also it is definitely James Caan's best performance, is Thief, and that's the big one coming to Criterion in March on 4K Blu-ray. I love Thief. It's one of my favorite movies from Michael Mann. I would probably put that actually at number 3, only behind Collateral and Heat. It's a great movie with a great performance. I know it's going to look fantastic on 4K Blu-ray, They probably won't update the audio on it. I have the previously released Blu-ray. It's a pretty good audio track anyway, but I love the synth score in that, so I just cannot wait to get it. I just know it's going to look beautiful on 4K Blu-ray. Towards the end, when they're in the car lot and you have the lights reflecting off the cars, it looks great on Blu-ray. That's how I know Thief is going to be a fantastic 4K Blu-ray. So we're getting a lot of Michael Mann movies on 4K Blu-ray. Last week we talked about The Last of the Mohegans, and we also talked about The Insider coming to 4K Blu-ray. So maybe this year will also be the year of Michael Mann. We just need a redo of Heat. That's the only 4K Blu-ray out there that I'm just very disappointed with. And I know some people defend it, but it just does not look... I've tried all the time. Every time I go put Heat in, I'm like, I'm just going to go back to the Blu-ray. Despite the fact that 4K does have its moments, it's just not as good as that previously released Blu-ray. And then it looks like we're going to be getting a Spike Lee joint on 4K Blu-ray, 2006's Inside Man. This movie stars Denzel Washington, Clive Owen, and Jodie Foster yet again. And this is probably the most conventional Spike Lee joint out there. I would say if you watch this movie, you might not even realize that Spike Lee directed it. I feel like this is Spike Lee trying to prove to everyone he can make a conventional Hollywood film, because most of Spike Lee's films are very thought-provoking, have very similar themes in there, have those big bombastic scores. And, you know, now he's kind of like pulling it back, showing he can direct an old-fashioned, straightforward heist films, and shows you that, hey, not only can he direct a heist film, but he can actually direct one of the best heist films ever, with a great ending to it that I'm not going to spoil here on the channel. It still does have those Spike Lee themes in there, but it's definitely just more of a conventional Hollywood release. It's definitely still a fantastic film that I'm really hoping gets confirmed for 4K Blu-ray. It sounds like it's going to, but I just can't wait for that movie to be finally coming to 4K Blu-ray. I just wish we got more Spike Lee joints on 4K. Yeah, as much as I like Inside Man, I was really hoping to hear, you know, maybe like Clockers or The 25th Hour on 4K. Those are big movies that still don't have 4K Blu-ray releases from Spike Lee. I think those are some of his better films that deserve to release before this. But, you know, I'm very happy to be getting Inside Man. This is definitely something that makes a lot of sense to be coming to 4K. You know, something that was a lot more mainstream, like BlacKkKlansman, which also has a 4K Blu-ray release. But again, I want some of those small... He Got Game. How does that not have a 4K Blu-ray release? They put that in a double pack with the 25th Hour. That just absolutely kills me, because both of them are great movies and really deserve to get the 4K treatment. Those I can see coming from like the Criterion collection. Also, it sounds like Coneheads, which is a movie I've never really loved. That's going to be coming to 4K Blu-ray through Kino Lorber as well. And then one thing that's rumored, but it sounded like it was going to get confirmed, that's that The French Connection is going to be coming to 4K Blu-ray. This one's directed by William Friedkin. Again, also stars Gene Hackman in probably one of his most iconic roles. And when you think of William Friedkin, the two big movies most people think of are The Exorcist and then, of course, The French Connection. This really signaled a huge change in Hollywood. This had that documentary film style in there. Definitely didn't feel like the 1960s films that people were used to at the time. This was a whole new ball game, and that's why this movie, I believe, won Best Picture that year. Definitely well deserved. I just rewatched this last year and I'm like, damn, this is a great movie. Now, the big thing with this film, and if it is going to be coming to 4K Blu-ray, because I believe Disney has the rights to it, but I heard the rumor is that the Criterion Collection, at least in the United States, will be doing this transfer. The streaming release of this actually cut out, I believe, 6 seconds of dialogue because he uses a racial slur, I believe. That bothers me. I don't like him using the racial slur, but if you watch Popeye Doyle, Gene Hackman's character, it's not like he's a great guy. Honestly, he's an anti-hero. That means that he's got some flaws in him, and one of them being he's kind of a bit of a racist, if I'm being 100% honest with you guys. So it makes sense for him to say things like that. So to cut it out in the movie, I just really don't like it when they do things like that. So I'm hoping that the release we do get this year is the official version of the film that is uncut, the complete release. I understand why people might not like that. I don't like it, but, you know, it's just, I don't like them touching art like that. It's the same thing that was kind of rumored this week. I can't confirm it. I mean, a lot of people have confirmed it. I can't confirm it personally. And that's that Riddick apparently has a scene cut out of the movie of Vin Diesel grabbing somebody's ass in the movie. I'm not even sure why they would cut that out. It doesn't even make sense other than maybe Vin Diesel asking them, because he's like a producer on those kinds of movies, and maybe that it kind of hurts his image. I really have no idea why they would do that. It doesn't make any sense, but I really hate them actually cutting stuff out of movies to try and, I don't know why. Like, just stop. We got to stop messing around with history too much. It really, that's just something that has always bothered me, is when they try and cut things out of film, or even like with the Star Wars trilogy of movies, the original trilogy, how they went and heavily edited those versions of the film. I would prefer the original cuts of the movie because those were the original versions that everybody saw. The special editions are the special editions, but like, they don't bother me that much as they bother other people, but there's certain sequences, especially with the CGI and A New Hope, that just take me right out of the movie and be like, that's not when the movie was made. So I don't like them playing around with things like that, but I also kind of understand it, but I just don't personally, from a personal standpoint. I just want the film as it was released back in the day. I know that we've gotten better as a society, but we also can't erase history. History is history. But But that was the last bit of news for this week's show. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of Let's Talk Physical Media. Let me know what you guys are most looking forward to coming to physical media in the near future. Leave those answers, leave those comments in the comment section below. And then while you guys are down there, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We also have channel memberships, guys. So if you want to become a friend of the channel, a producer for the channel like Jed Eckert and Mr. Smelly Potato, you can do that. Or you can even become a channel director like Frank from Frank's Media and Reviews and Mr. Smelly Potato. But if you got no money to throw away, guys, don't you worry about it at all. We just hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, get out in those streets, tell your friends about us, and then we'll be seeing you around.